Traders, welcome back to another Relentless video. I got some things I want to get off my chest about trading in the simulation, about trading in the simulator, paper trading. There's been a lot of talks, there's been a lot of people out there who are embarrassed about the simulation, about trading paper money. They can't do it. They don't have this emotional connection, this emotional tie. Guys, I'm here to tell you that Relentless Trader, me, the man himself, has traded in a simulator. This thing is not how you guys are making it seem. You know, some people are terrified to go there. They think it's a waste of time. It's not necessary. They need to feel the raw emotions of trading with cash. Guys, come on now. Come on. When I first started trading, I had $14,000 in an account at E-Trade Pro, and I was trading 3 day trades every 5 business days. And I lost money. I was not ready. I had no business trading with real money. I had no business trading with real money. I had no business. And you know what? If I had an account above 25K, above 40, 50K, I can confidently say right now, knowing where I'm at and knowing where I was back then, that I would have blown up that entire account. I would have blown up that entire account because I had no business. I was not ready. You got to be honest with yourself and understand that the simulation is a place for practice. And this idea of, oh, I don't feel the emotions. If you're someone who's in that situation, you have a problem. I'm gonna be straight. I'm talking to you. You have a problem. You have a problem. Think of it like this. Think of this situation right here, right now. A pilot who's training, right? I think this is one of the best examples. Think of a pilot. Pilots use simulations. In fact, so much of flight school is a simulation. You know, you're in a computer program, you're learning how to fly, you're learning how to take off, how to land, you know, all of these different things you're learning in a simulation. Sometimes there's even artificial cockpits that can, you know, simulate turbulence and what to do in certain emergency situations. So think of it in that sense, right? If that pilot is joking around, not doing the same thing with the same level of focus in that simulation, when they fly, they're not going to be a good pilot. In fact, what are the risks? What are the risks if the pilot is no good, right? What are the risks? One, you know, the plane can go down. The pilot can ultimately lose his or her life and the life of their passengers. The ultimate penalty, right? Fatality. It's just, you know, we don't want to think of it, but, you know, in the market, it's pretty similar. If you are not practicing and taking it serious, what is the penalty? What is the risk? You lose a lot of your money. Worst case scenario, you blow up your account. In some ways, fatality, right? And these things can be draining on us mentally. It can affect our personal lives. Knowing that 50,000, 100,000 just came and went like yesterday's news. You know, money that we've saved up years or had to borrow, you know. So if you are having this issue that, hey, I can't take the simulator real because, you know, I don't have any emotional connection, nonsense. Because at the end of the day, the profitable mindset is not thinking about cash, right? And I say that in the sense, right? Think about it this way. Of course, money is important. Of course, money is relevant, right? I'm not going to say that it's not, right? Money is relevant to a certain degree when we talk about the profitable trader mindset. But above all else, traders are not even looking at their P&Ls. Traders are looking at the setups. Traders are looking at the risk to reward ratio in the trade. Hey, why am I taking this trade? Does it make sense? Is it A quality? All the fundamental reasons as to why a setup should work or shouldn't work. These are things that traders are looking at. And so it's like, hey, I'm in the simulator. I see a stock with an A quality setup. The float is on the lower side. The volume profile looks great. It's in my price range. You know, you name it, it has it. You name it, it has it. Everything. The spreads are tight. There's limited downside risk, high upside potential. Everything is checking off your checklist that you go through to see if a stock is worthy of trading. Maybe it's above your moving averages and it's holding support really well. VWAP, all these different things. If you see that same setup in the simulation and in your real account, what is the difference? You ask yourself, what is the difference? You'll be taking the trade with a profit target, and you'll be taking the trade with a certain amount of risk for your stop loss. Let's say the stock is coming up at $5. I want to be in at $4.99. I think it has a good I have reasons to believe it has a good chance, maybe gap fill or something like that, to get to $5.50. My stop in this trade is at $4.80, you know, $4.85. I'm risking 15 to 20 cents, trying to make 50 cents on the move. What is the difference in that situation if you're in a simulation or if you're in a real account? What is the difference? What is the difference? There is no difference. You, the individual, is creating a difference. You, the individual, is telling yourself that the simulation is not worthy, not necessary. Oh, I don't feel any fear, so I can trade comfortably, I can trade normally. But that's how you're supposed to feel. That's how you're supposed to be when you are in a live account. You're supposed to approach the trade the same way. And I'll tell you guys something about fear and other emotions, whether it's excitement, whether it's nervousness. You have to be courageous. You have to be courageous, guys. Courage is being able to have consistency and do what needs to be done despite fear being there. So you have to be courageous. You have to be courageous. And you take the same exact approach, the same exact entry. If the stock happens to go against you, you already have anticipated that that was a possibility. Nothing in the market is 100%. So we always have a risk in the trade, a stop loss. Hey, if the stock comes down this amount, more than likely it's failing. Let me bail out of this trade. Let me be ruthless with my loss. And so even if it goes against you, there was no surprise, you know, and we always keep in the back of our minds that stocks can be irrationally strong and irrationally weak, right? If I'm in at 5 and in the blink of an eye, it's at $4, my stop, I'm way past my stop by 80 cents because it just flushed down out of nowhere. That is beyond even the weakness that I anticipated. So immediately I want to take that quick loss. It's a bigger loss. Will it take me a few days maybe to get back from it? Yes, but it's not going to blow up my account. I'm not going to average down because once again, I already told myself, hey, if this thing comes down 20 cents, 15 cents, it's pretty weak and more than likely it's not going to make the move. If it goes down $1 a share below my level, why in the world would I think that's a good place to keep buying so that it could make the move that I wanted? That's the opposite of what we should be doing. We need to take the loss and be willing to wait patiently for something else. So you have to keep that in your mind, guys, to be courageous. There is no difference in the simulator and real account. If you're in the simulator and the trade does the same thing, you're supposed to exit the trade as well. There is no difference once again. And likewise to the upside, if something starts to take off, we're in at 5, it's hitting 525, 540, 550, we're taking profits just as we would otherwise. There is no difference fundamentally, you know, unless you're creating that pressure. And we human beings love to create pressure for ourselves. I've done it so many times, but we have to always be aware. We have to be aware and we have to be honest, right? And once we can be aware, you know, we'll know. We have to be honest with ourselves, right? Be honest with yourself and you will know, right? Be willing to accept the risk. Be willing to accept the risk and be courageous. And, you know, we talk about the simulator. You're in there, treat it real, right? Treat it real. Treat it real. Do not take 1 million shares on Tesla. You're doing exactly what you would have been doing otherwise. Hey, I can only afford, you know, 100 shares of Tesla, 50 shares of Tesla, 10 shares of Tesla, or whatever stock you might be trading. You know, you're taking the same approach. right? One of the main things about the simulation, and in terms of heads up, right? Here's a heads up in terms of the difference between a simulation and a real account, will be slippage, right? If you're taking 1,000 shares in the simulation, you're basically above direct access routing. You'll get filled immediately. You'll never get partial fills. Those are some of the things to consider in the simulator, right? Because in order for a broker to really have you have a simulator that's like a real account, it'll cost them a lot, right? That type of data, matching that type of data, hey, I'm trying to fill an order at the bids, and tracking the live market to see if anyone is selling at that point in time. It can happen. There might be a few brokers out there that might do it. I'm not sure, but it'll cost them a lot. That'll be an expensive simulator. But for the most part, slippage is one of the only things you got to really watch out for. Partial fills. But other than that, you're already having that expectation that's also part of what trading is. Partial fills, lack of fills. Sometimes you're going to put out an order. Maybe you only fill 50% of that position, and then the stock starts to curl back up or whatever it might be. But that is to be expected. That is a part of this field. And so when it comes to the simulator, guys, do not be afraid. Do not bash. There are some really good simulators out there, and they can be utilized. I've traded in a simulator for a year and some change to really hone my skills. And along the process, I'm saving up for this 25K, and I'm gaining more experience. And I finally transitioned over when I felt I was ready, when my metrics were telling me that I was ready. So keep in mind these things, guys. Keep in mind, and do not be afraid. Do not be embarrassed. Do not be discouraged about the simulator. Let me know what you guys think down below. Leave some comments. It's been Relentless Trader, right? Leave some comments down below. How do you guys feel about the simulator? Have you traded in a simulator? Have you considered going to a simulator after watching this video? If you are losing money, would you consider going to a sim, right? Check out the links down below, guys. Check out the links for the Discord. If you're not familiar with Discord, it's a free service that I have, right? Free chat room service. You guys can check it out. Check out the link for the Instagram and Facebook pages. Leave a thumbs up, and of course, be aware of the scammers, WhatsApp scammers, fake Relentless Trader pages, whether on Discord or YouTube or any other social media, Facebook. Be careful of the scammers, guys, and I'll catch you later. It's been Relentless Trader, and I am, of course, signing out.